I'm Kamya Buch, and I help people explore the world and their spiritual journey. You're watching Women Beyond Borders on Euronews Travel. Traveling is not just an outward journey, but it is an inward journey because I get to contact so many different types of experiences, people, and cultures, and also discover and explore the power that I have in myself that I wouldn't have otherwise known. When I was in school, I went through a really difficult time. And at that point, I was a teenager. I was in boarding school in India and went through essentially a dark night of the soul and was prescribed prescription drugs for depression and anxiety, which took me even deeper into darkness. And it's at that point that I realized that, I was seeking solutions and catapulted me into my spiritual journey.
Made it now to Rainbow Mountain. And what's interesting is the view on either side of the valley is actually more spectacular than the mountain itself.
Travel has been really one of the biggest components of my spiritual journey, and that's actually how I started traveling. Solo traveling in particular has been so transformative, and I think is one of the most transformative things a person can do. My first big solo travel journey was Cambodia and Vietnam for 2 months. I visited the ancient Hindu temples in Angkor Wat. Went hitchhiking across the countryside. For me, I think the most kind of awakening and evolutionary experiences whilst traveling, it's not been that kind of perfect Instagram moment where I'm witnessing a sunrise. It has been in those moments where I have been completely lost, alone, I don't know where I am, I've had breakdowns, and in those moments, going through all those challenges and experiences as well was so expansive for me as a person in terms of freeing myself to be myself in a way. The spiritual aspect of self-discovery was huge. It was so phenomenal in terms of helping me decondition from all the things that I had been taught by society, who I am, what my image, what I need to be. Women are conditioned not to believe in our power. So for me, solo traveling has been really empowering because of breaking through a lot of those conditions and breaking through that fear. And one major one is the fact that we often think that the world is an unsafe place, and we're taught this from a very young age. When I went to Java, I literally landed there and no one spoke English, and I had no idea where I was going to go. And I just got in a bus with 5 people and none of them spoke English, and I was just like praying, hopefully I reach my destination. And so I've had a few adventures like this. I've always found it to really just restore my faith in humanity and restore my faith in the fact that as women, we can feel safe and we can be empowered to do whatever we want, no matter what society is telling us.
And what's crazy is that the canopy of the forest is so dense. It's actually raining so heavily right now, and I'm barely getting wet. Just a little bit.
Traveling for me has opened me in so many ways to understanding that we are a global family, that we are a global community. And the empathy aspect that we often don't really see in day-to-day life because we're so engrossed with our own lives and things that don't directly affect us, we often don't want to know about. Half the world lives on less than $5.5 a day. And I think as if we can go out and travel, that we should, and that we should do so in a socially responsible and conscious way that is not just for our own material satisfaction or our own desires, but in a way that we are trying to really connect with indigenous cultures and communities which are literally dying out across the globe as we start to westernize and colonize and modernize and globalize the entire world, essentially. Being able to see the communities that are affected, that may not even get a voice, has really kind of pushed me to speak more about those issues and encourage people to have dialogue about them. Traveling, I think, is always going to be part of my life. And the reason I think it is so important for us to travel, I think anyone, if they can travel on a budget, go into the countryside, and especially traveling in nature, it really helps us to heal. I think it's one of the most underrated ways that we can kind of explore ourselves. One of my number one advices would be pursue your dreams and make a plan. And not just that, but also understanding that this journey of achieving your dreams and becoming the best version of yourself and living your best life is not just an external, but it's an inside thing. When you truly work through the things which hold you back, your limiting beliefs, that you will find so much freedom from the inside, and that will revolutionize the way that you look at life and the way that you pursue your dreams and goals.